Hi, my name is Mark Dudley, and this is my presentation on tort liability for EDL 850, Module 12. In today's presentation, we're going to talk about tort laws and liability. We're also going to bring up 5 cases in which there were cases where there were torts involved. A tort is simply an action or actionable or civil wrong committed against one person by another that is independent of contract. Tort liability is the obligation legally for one party to the victim. A lot of times that includes damages, whether it's money or some type of legal benefit there. One of the first case we're going to talk about is Fallon versus Indian Trail School. This is where a student was hurt on a trampoline. They were actually performing a front drop on a trampoline. The court decided that the trampoline is not a abnormally dangerous instrument that the plaintiff had declared, and that normal use of trampoline is not hazardous activity. Even though the student was hurt, there was a certified qualified person there to supervise this front drop, these techniques that were used, some measures that needed to be taken. Obviously, if I'm the building leader, I want a full, immediate report on the incident. Not only would I talk with the student and other students involved, but talk with the staff member that's present supervising. Some of the things that we can do proactively. A lot of times, in some situations, you hire someone that is capable but maybe not certified. And it's always important to put certified, trained people in positions where physical activities are taking place, just in case, so they can teach proper form, so they can help if there are injuries and things like that. So it's important to make sure that a certified, trained person's in place, and that these activities are supervised hands-on, not just kind of in the room, but making sure you're walking around, making sure that students are practicing the best techniques and best practices for the activity that's being used. As far as professional ethics as a building leader, it's important that you put certified, trained people in that room with those students. It's not just okay just to put a warm body in a situation where you're doing some type of gymnastics or activity where there is danger involved. And it's very important to make sure that these faculty members, these staff members are certified, trained, and proficient in teaching the techniques that they will be practicing in class. The next case includes is Johnson versus School District of Milliard. This is an instance in a music class where a student was hurt participating in a London Bridges falling down game. Obviously, this is a game, that music teachers teach young children, and in this instance, the teacher said that she was helping another student. Student reports were that the teacher was on the blackboard and had her back turned, therefore was not supervising this activity where she was allowing these young children to practice London Bridges falling down, and the student was actually awarded damages for this case. As a building leader, some of the measures that I would take, obviously, again, get a full report from the faculty member in there, talk with the student that was hurt, talk with the students that was involved in this incident as well. They were the ones that they got caught up in the arms and reason why the person was hurt. Again, in music and other related art areas, you need to make sure that proper instruction techniques are used. Activities are age appropriate. Students are able to handle these activities, even though they might be fun and exciting for students to do. They need to be able to handle them and practice them safely. And as far as from a building leader, as far as professionally, you just need to make sure that in related arts, all students are supervised at all time. Need to make sure the activities that we are teaching to our students are safe. They're not unnecessary, but they're safe and they're related to the activities that we should be doing. Next case is Richardson versus Corvallis Public School. This case had to do with a parent slipping on snow when they were coming in, or actually going out from the school building, and the parent was injured while slipping on a snow-packed surface when leaving the school. It's one of those things that it's kind of funny talk about from a South Carolina perspective, because when it snows here, more than 3 or 4 flurries, everything shuts down. So there have been times that we have dealt with this. So it's, we're not like a lot of places that get snow all the time, and this would be a regular occurrence. I will say some of the things that need to be done. Obviously, whether your campus is an acre or 6, 7 buildings or whatever, all entrances, exits need to make sure that they're properly taken care of, that they're safe. This is an issue that you could, whether you have large kids, small kids, elementary students, high school students, all entrances and exits need to be safe before the schools should be open. One of the things that you need to do is make sure that your staff is proactive. Make sure that your staff, your custodial staff, your support staff, your teachers go to all their areas and make sure that they report any areas that are unsafe, and those areas are dealt with immediately. And from a professional ethics background standpoint, normally school closings are dealt with at the district level, but as a building leader, if for some reason my grounds, my buildings, the surroundings are not safe, I need to report that to the district office, district employees, and make sure that either I'm shut down for the day or they get me the help that I need to make sure that I can provide a safe environment for all stakeholders. The next case is Stevens versus Chastain. This was when a student was injured during a football game. The student was not participating because they had previously been injured and were told not to participate in physical activity. They actually had a doctor's note stating that they did not need to participate. However, this person was on the sidelines and was not paying attention, but was run over from one of the players that was playing in the game. Now, if you watch football TV, this has happened several times. Several years ago, Joe Paterno actually broke his leg on the sideline because he got run over by a football player. Nick Saban got hit last year in one of the national championship games. So this is an incident that happened. First of all, obviously a PE teacher can't leave one student behind, and it was important that the student be supervised. So after getting the full investigation and talking with the teacher, talking with the student, and getting the report, obviously it's important that we take care of all of our students' needs and make sure that a student who is already injured is not in harm's way. I think it's important to make sure to make a point from this teacher to put this person in a safe place at all times, knowing pre-existing injuries. And then obviously it's important from a professional standpoint to make sure that parents and students know that in a class like PE, there are some risks that take place, and that we cannot prevent all injuries. And this sounds like it was a very freak accident, as so to say, as the student was not paying attention. So it's important that we teach our students and our student athletes how to protect themselves and put them in situations that will not lead them to harm. And then our last case that I reviewed was the Hammond versus Board of Education of Carroll County. This was when a female student actually was involved in an injury during her first scrimmage. The student actually, court found that the student actually assumed the risk of this activity. The school did a great job of having the student participate and having a physical where a doctor said that this person was fit to play. And the school also had a permission slip that was signed by both the parent and the student stating the inherent risk of physical activity. So from a measures perspective taken, I felt like this school and this coach did a wonderful job. Obviously, you'd still want to get a full report of what happened, not only from the coach, player, but also the training staff that was involved. I felt like the school was very proactive. They had this paperwork already signed and required, and know that football is one of those sports where there is a chance of injury, whether you're a male or female, whether you're a freshman or a senior, there's a chance for you to get hurt. And then from a professional standpoint, just to make sure that our coaches are making sure that all players are taken care of as far as paperwork and things like that, and that they're put in situations that do not cause them more risk of getting hurt. And this is something that falls in lines in our training staff as well. And in this instance, it seems that the school and the coach had done their due diligence of making sure that all parties knew that there was a chance for get hurt, and it was just unfortunate that this one student, even though she was a female, was injured in the first scrimmage. All right, this is Mark Dudley. Hope you enjoyed my presentation. These are the references that I used. I hope you enjoyed my presentation learning more about tort liability.